deserves. You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Neater House Refuse Roll-Off and Recycling wants to show their gratitude to our troops, first responders, police, firefighters, and military families for all they've endured. Their courage, sacrifices, and dedication will never be forgotten. They appreciate you. This message from Neater House Refuse Roll-Off and Recycling, whose quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. Stop by 1905 Yolande Avenue in Lincoln or call 402-475-8361. Neater House Refuse Roll-Off and Recycling, wishing our military, neighbors, and friends a safe and happy summer season.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff, who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love being here.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
A 93.7 The Ticket and the Ticket F.
We're here, Old School, Jay Foreman, DP, Austin on the ones and twos. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat and every type of cut. We mentioned in the crossover, the Hall of Fame class, some good dudes going in. Vanden Bosch, Taylor Martinez, we'll jump into him. Top of the hour, we're going to be calling and getting Troy Dumas on, who's deservedly so for sure. Played with him and Vanden Bosch. Spencer DeLong is in. So it's a close going in. It's always, being in before, it's always a big deal. I think for me, it was a, cherry on top, kind of the last thing I needed for my football, career to feel complete. So hopefully they feel the same. Be good to, hear from Troy and talk to him. But I know the he was a big name, a lightning rod in his time here at Nebraska. And he got in, rightfully so. Good for him, as Taylor Martinez. And I know you were asking me about him, Austin, and I felt like, I think sometimes, and you saw this a lot, sometimes maybe like during the Bo, era, is guys would come in early, flash, and they left, and you didn't see the incremental improvement. Now, one that's I think is an outlier is Amir. But I think Amir was buried deep in the depth chart and needed to get bigger and stronger and faster. But Amir was an extremely hard worker, and I think he saw his explosion his last 2 years, especially that last year where it felt like he was a one-man show. So I think with Taylor, he flashed, and he was something so different when they went to that type of offense, to be frank, when he battled out with Zach Lee actually graded out better than he did. But they saw something in him that he was going to be unique. Obviously, his speed, especially with that offense, once he, got going, he was more than, a house call. So I think for him, it's going to be, a unique experience. It's going to be interesting to see, him accept the award, under, considering, how, some people felt about him when he left. He wasn't a very, people always felt like he wasn't very outgoing. I just think he wasn't very good in front of the camera. I mean, that's it. I think he was, extremely reserved and shy. See how he's a grown man now, or not grown man, but he's, 32 years old. And it shouldn't be nothing but positive. But I think, for his time here, he was definitely an influential player. I can understand where people say, how did he get in so quick? Because you think of a Troy Dumas, somebody like that, there's other guys that had to wait significantly a lot longer, but deservedly so. He was definitely a influential player when he came, and his speed would have been next level. I think the ankle injury and the hit against Oklahoma, I just felt like he never opened up. It felt like he was always running, with something on his mind.
Yeah, you try to watch talent versus production, and you can tell the difference in what we call that athletic arrogance. And if you're not moving in the same way, or you're moving in a way where you expect your body to do something that it can no longer do, and you see it in certain players, you see it sometimes it happens in a game from a hit.
Right.
Sometimes you see them playing with injury and not seeing it, and then sometimes the game just speeds up
or catches up.
Like it just does. But it's always interesting for those players for them to then find another way to be successful. Right? It's
right.
like, oh, I can't outrun everybody. I can't run over everybody. I can't shed everybody. I can't cover this the way I used to, but I can do something else better. And those are the players, all the players you're talking about.
Yeah, I think, I think, for him, to his defense, I felt like it's not all on him to become a better passer, right? I felt like they kind of hung their hat on it. It's like he can run, and he still was fast. I mean, he still was extremely fast, but teams caught up to it. And if you don't have those same threats around him, you can focus right in on him and hammer him. And he was built like a track guy, right? Tall and linear, but he was big, but not like like a Tommy Frazier or Scott Frost. So when you needed him to become a better passer, and you saw it, like his feet were together, the fundamentals that Barry Thompson could work with him on, would have allowed him to become that much more of an effective runner and more of a home run threat. I think that they felt they knew that they had it and kind of used it too much. You kept going back to that fastball, and the fastball still has the speed, but when they start sitting on the fastball, then it doesn't look as fast. And so, but at the end of the day, you could go back and look and what if. But at the end of the day, he still had a really good career, very, very a lot of stats, very successful.
How many quarterbacks are now in Husker Hall? Right, like that would be. Well, I'm asking that to Austin. Austin will figure it out. But
yeah, I mean, heck, if you think about stats, then you got to start looking at. I mean, it's hard because
different eras,
different
different styles of play,
different times of getting on the field. If you're like if you're only a guy out there that can play dead and you on defense, you're going to rack up a lot of stats versus you got some first round picks and number 6 and 14 pick and 21 out of 22 guys that are in the NFL caliber players. You're not making 150 tackles.
Beyond the 99-yard run for Martinez, what is the legacy?
I think his first run,
Kansas State.
Yeah, well, was that
Oklahoma State?
Which was his first run when he rolled out? Was it Missouri? Not Missouri. Which one? He was at home.
Was that Western Kentucky?
Yeah, when he just. I mean, he murked out on them cats. Yeah. I think that was his wow moment. Like, I'm here, I'm on the scene, and then he had other ones that were pretty good. I think he had a pretty good run against Michigan State up there. It was kind of like a grimy type of game. I mean, he's had some pretty, good plays, and then obviously he has some, plays that weren't very good either.
Well, I mean, but that is the essence of a Hall of Fame career. Like somebody was asking about this about O.J. Simpson the other day. I'm like, yeah, we all, well, most of us remember the best O.J. And then he's just as much that as he is the bad OJ.
Yeah,
Like
well,
OJ had some days against Pittsburgh where he had 40 yards rushing, and we forget that the steel curtain shut him down. The Raiders couldn't wait to play OJ.
Yeah, but OJ didn't run the wrong way though, or something like that. I think. I mean, I was watching this thing about Jordan, Michael Jordan. They're talking about him and LeBron, and they were like, everybody views Jordan as Jordan from like when he started winning championships, but they went back and they went over his earlier in his career. The 3 of 18 game, and Scottie Pippen had to go for 31 and 12 to save him from going down 3-0. His ineffectiveness against Detroit when they're up 2-0, they end up essentially getting backdoor swept, losing 4 in a row.
Yeah,
he started out averaging 30, ended up then it went down to 20. So yeah, everybody has their ups and downs, but I think like with him. With Taylor, I just think he had so much talent. He burst on the scene, and this is what people do. And you see this a lot in youth sports, right? And Austin knows this, is everybody has revisionist history. And you heard it all the time from the media, and this revisionist history. He had and this also happened with Adrian, right? You come in on this like tornado, right? Just take everything by storm. Like they've never seen anything of it before. And then you're in your 3rd or 4th year, and they're still referring back what you did as your freshman year.
Yep.
So you're actually running from a ghost, and you don't even know where it's at, and you're not going to win the race. You're just constantly running against, a book that was already written, which is your 1st or 2nd year, and it gets better and better as you get longer and longer while you're playing. I think with him, the expectations got too high. I think in the championship game against Oklahoma, when he got hit that time, and then he was trying to protect himself. Then it was kind of like he was expecting the hit, then the fumble. And then also he needed a partnership in a quarterback coach and an offense that was going to challenge him. And DP, the biggest part, demand that he gets better. But ultimately he actually went off on his own and found one of the quarterback guys out in California. And up until he got a little bit dinged up, I think his shoulder later on in his career, he was getting better as a passer. He went and worked on his own because I think he recognized it, that I need to get better as a passer. And then, obviously then he still was, all conference and everything like that. So he had a really good career here. It's hard, as we know, playing quarterback here at Nebraska with all the pressure and immense pressure and the expectations, especially now with the amount of media coverage. And when you are such a big part of the success, and you got to think it coincided with Bo Pelini taking over, getting more explosive on offense. I mean, it was kind of
you're
like
a victim of your circumstance,
right?
Like that, like some things you don't control, and you try to find your way through it.
But the circumstances is part of the reason why he's here, because he was able to survive and play well at times, and for a majority of time in those circumstances, and then go from there. And I think one of the things that I didn't like for him is, and you'll see this all the time, and you'll see it. You saw it with Adrian. Immediately, people started trying to compare him to the greatest guys that ever played here. That's disrespectful to T. Fraze, Jerry Taggy, Steve Taylor, Turner Gill, Eric Crouch, Scott Frost, all those guys. That's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't start comparing these guys let them do their own thing. And then once they get done playing, and 10 years later, then you can start comparing them. But that's also I think was part of the problem. Very quickly, he could be the best that ever played in Nebraska. I mean, did you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, so I think that wasn't fair to him. Yeah. He didn't ask for that. Yeah. He didn't ask for that at all. But at the end of the day, he was very successful and he's done a really good job of playing well.
This is quite the list, though. This is a list that has a lot of meat and potatoes to talk about.
Of the Hall of Fame class? Yeah. We'll do it. We'll get the other 5. We'll do 4, and then you've got Troy coming up hour 5. So we'll do 4 more guys here after the break. Jay Foreman, DP.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Register to win one of 4 $500 gift certificates from Graham Tire Company of Lincoln during their anniversary sale going on now. Instant rebates on Goodyear, Kumho, Hankook, and Nokian tires. Additional mail-in rebates on select Goodyear tires. Double your mail-in rebate when you use your Goodyear card. That's up to $260 savings on 4 select tires. Hurry in for the savings and your chance to win a $500 gift certificate given away to 4 lucky local winners. Graham Tire and Auto Service, getting you to the places that matter most.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HandHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Koppel's big summer sales event is kicking off into high gear with lots of fantastic offers still going on. We've got 0.9% interest rates and trade-in bonuses on select new models. I know it all sounds too good to be true, but yes, 0.9% interest rates right now at Koppel. Also, we're ramping up our back-to-school vehicles, and our pre-owned inventory is filling fast. We've got great new pre-owned and GM-certified units ready to roll, so stop on by the dealership or online at KoppelCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through July 25th are $2 off a pound of Denver steaks. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations opening soon at 27th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha, with soft openings in mid-July. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see areas of fog and partly sunny skies this morning. We'll see an afternoon storm chance in the forecast. We'll see a high around 86. Tonight, we'll see a chance of storms early, then mostly cloudy skies, low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies throughout most of the day. We'll see a high around 87. Meteorologist Kyle Pucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, old school. Jay Foreman, Austin. DP's handling some business. Like we said before the break, before we get my man Troy Dumas on here, we're going to talk about the four other class of going in. Now, start all over. The class is David Clark, 1980s defensive tackle. Troy Dumas, 1990s. Sam Cook, but when you got it's a really, really good, it's actually a pretty unique class and a really good class. You got Troy Dumas and Clark, kind of like the OGs of it. Then you got some guys where Sam Cook, I think, is going to go down as one of the best punters of all time. I think you got Ray Guy, Shane Leckler, Reggie Roby, and then Sam Cook, was phenomenal for the Ravens, and I think it was by his choice. He could have probably went and played some other places, and left Nebraska, left a legacy at Nebraska as far as the punters go as to follow behind. Then you got Kyle Vanden Bosch, who really is junior and senior year, specifically his last game at Nebraska was really indicative of the potential he had. Now, here's a story about Kyle Vanden Bosch, and we'll just start with him. Remember when we, signed him, I was like, man, who's this podunk dude we getting from Iowa? You know what I'm saying? Like, first, Dan Alexander came out, right? And he was built like, his dad, I guess, his parents were bodybuilders, and Dan Alexander was yoked up. I was like, all right, man, that's just like a one-off. And we've seen plenty of those guys come in. Now I'm like, man, you so stiff, you might not be able to play football. Plus, he was running back. I was like, we get to tee off on him. They're talking about Vanden Bosch, and he's from Iowa. Trevor's from Iowa. So that, they're like, oh, this is another, great get. Vanden Bosch came out there, man, as a freshman. About 6'4", about 235. Yoked up. Talking about all he drink is milk. And then he just continued to work. And work and work and work. And and then it took him a little while to kind of get his, football legs under him at this level. And then, my last year, and then when he played, he really took off. And then obviously he got to the NFL again. Had to kind of start over, fight the injury bug. But obviously lived up to his potential, was a really, really good young player, a really good leader. You know what I'm saying? Hold guys accountable, but he still was fun. And then you got Taylor Martinez, who we talked about before, and a guy that I think that people like, of course, he's an offensive guard, so it's not like and he wasn't a part of the pipeline, but Spencer Long, when he played, was dominant here. Dominant. And he is from Elkhorn, I think, right? Elkhorn, and a walk-on, a former walk-on. So imagine him deciding to walk on at Nebraska, knowing dang well he should have a scholarship. We just talked about Clester Johnson's son, probably maybe around that same era, had to go to Wyoming. He decides to walk on two guys that should have been at Nebraska. One went to Wyoming. Him comes to Nebraska and turns himself into one of the better linemen ever to play at Nebraska. You know, obviously not up there with Wegener, but listen. If you're not on the pipeline, okay, that's not, being second or third tier after that. That's not a bad deal. You know, here in and then he went and had a really good NFL career. I think his dad's a surgeon or something like that. So I mean, he's a great addition, and I like this class because you got the specialist, a couple defensive guys, and more than a couple, and then you got an offensive guy, and then you got kind of like the, crown prince as the quarterback.
Well, I mean, they seem to check all the boxes. I'm always curious about eras, and then trying to figure out where they match. Not so much, as you said, not matching Spencer Long versus the pipeline, but how good was he in the era in which he played?
Spencer Long was excellent,
right?
And so was Taylor in his era.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't fault. I'm not going to compare Spencer to Brendan Styler. I'm gonna compare Spencer to what he was and when he played.
Well, I mean,
and
if you're all conference and you're handling your business, if you're the guy that Nebraska ran behind and had success behind,
second team All-American,
that's the story.
He handled his business.
Like, that's the story. And then you also you get into, okay, one, comparing him in that era, but two, what did he do for that Nebraska team? Now I get to look at it from the outsider's perspective, and I'm going, well, wait a minute. If I look at Taylor Martinez, I see the good and the bad, but the good is so good. Yeah, he had moments that you went, wow, okay, bro, let's reload. But his moments of excellence were always when there was need. Like, he did it in big moments. He wasn't just doing it in the 60-0 game.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it against the scrubs. He was handling his business. The same with Spencer Long. Like you said, second team All-American.
To answer DP's question from before, too, 12. Taylor's the 12th
quarterback. Okay.
By my count.
Okay.
And he was an academic All-American as well.
So then I challenge. Then Austin knows the next challenge is to find out who's number 13.
Well, heck, if
do you want
Taylor,
the list of who's in?
Yeah.
If Taylor's going in, then that's got to be like Tommy Armstrong or somebody.
That's
Adrian probably.
Yeah, Tommy before Adrian.
Well, ideally.
Well, but that's going to be like if you put number to number.
Well, it's just Tommy's been done longer. He should be going in.
Yeah. So the list of quarterbacks. This is in order of induction, oldest to most recent.
Okay.
Jerry Taggy was the first one in 78. Ferragamo in 84. Hum in 85. Turner Gill in 89. Tommy Frazier 96, Steve Taylor 99, Jerry Godowski 2000, Crouch 2002, Frost 2015, Beringer honorary inductee in 2015, Zach Taylor 2017, Taylor Martinez.
Yeah, Armstrong seems to be
next.
Yeah.
Right? That seems to be. And text on will tell us if we're missing somebody, but that seems like
Armstrong, probably Adrian. But I'm gonna tell you, if you think of just stats alone, okay, and I don't know if he was all conference. I always say Jabal Lord had put up some numbers. He did. He put up some numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, didn't win a lot of games. Now it's not. I mean, it's not all on him, but unfortunately, when you're a quarterback, it does kind of fall at your feet. But stats alone, he put in some work.
I'm gonna pull through because I do want to go through the quarterback numbers because the next things matter. And you always evaluate the status of a program by the questions you have about the recent level of talent. And Adrian Martinez gives you some hope, but it also shows. Listen, can he be in your Hall of Fame if you didn't win?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is it a stat thing, or is it a win thing, or is it a combination?
I'm asking y'all because
I'm big into what did you do when it counted the most.
Okay.
I don't need like going in there running rampant against some scrubs like that. That's not moving the needle.
Well, I mean,
like where's your signature play? Like when people ask me about Levante David, Terrell Farley, Levante David, Ohio State, games on the line, calls fumble, comes back. Terrell Farley, block a punt, pick out whatever you need, just name it. He's done it. Mike Brown, everybody else has done it in big games against big time people. Now, granted, you need the stats with it, but and then also it's based on your influence on, like you said, on the team, on the era. You can't fault a Jamal Lord because the rest of the team wasn't good, or Bill Callahan was trying to transition you into a, pass first offense and you were a option type of quarterback, but his stats he can stand on. So it just, it depends on the fan or the person that's voting, because you got some voters that just say, you know what, I'm just looking at the sheet of paper. You're the number one receiver of all time, so then there you go. Or
how does this and again, I kind of want to jump in the pool that it is that Armstrong has to be next top passer, but
where's he at? Where's the stat sheet? Where's Tommy?
So Tommy, well, Taylor Martinez,
Tommy Gunn,
Taylor Martinez threw for 7,200 yards, just over 7,200 yards for 4 years, 7,200. Tommy Armstrong Jr. 8,800 yards.
Okay,
so that number pops, and interceptions come into play.
They got win-loss
meaningful
record
games,
up there?
winning plays.
They got win-loss.
Well, that's a whole different conversation.
No, it ain't, because they both was the same.
No, because I think
they both was in there.
What that means is you're going to change your listing. Because
no, I was just talking about those two.
Oh, we'll look at the wins and losses.
Well, I mean, sure. I mean, you can't expect Jerry Taggy to have the same amount of passing numbers as somebody else.
Right. Taggy, I mean, to me, Taggy's top 3. Period. And
who's your number one?
It's Tommy, because it's Tommy Frazier because of what was done.
Okay, who's number 2?
Truly number 2 for me would actually be Taggy. Because I could flip them. Just as easily because Taggy did it first.
Is it because of championships or because of play?
Taggy made plays. When you I'm old enough to have watched Taggy win games for Nebraska.
Okay, who's number 3?
Then I would say Turner or Steve, whatever way you look at it. And I'm fine with it. I'm not sure that I don't slide Ferragamo and Hum up there because their numbers are just spectacular.
But you putting them on, you ain't even got the Heisman winner in there.
Well, here's why. If you're talking about playing the position of quarterback, there are guys who Taggy may have actually made more big plays running the football than Crouch did, and passed his way into Johnny Rodgers winning a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the other guys. You talking about Ferragamo?
That's my
Jerry
group.
Godowski.
That's my group, right? That if you're 6 deep, I didn't say Godowski because you ain't putting that on me. And I stayed away from Joe Gans. I stayed away from Joe Gans because I know
Joe Gans. Crouch, I got your back, baby.
Yeah, I absolutely stayed away from Joe Gans.
You gonna put Sam Keller in there?
That's top 15, 10.
It's hard. I mean,
right?
Look, when you've had a winning tradition, dominant teams, you're not going to be a dominant team and win games if you don't have really good quarterback play, especially through those first 30 or 40 years when you're running a lot of option, right? So as the quarterback has the ball in his hands 99% at the start of every single play. So it's a little different, even though we've had a ton of running backs. It's like running backs. If you could leave, in some cases, Calvin Jones off your top 5 list and people look at you crazy. You could leave, Amir off of it. Amir would have had a hard time getting any carries when I was in college. Any.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay. Straight up. So it's just a matter of time. I mean, it's just a matter. I mean, I just think Nebraska's been blessed to have those type of quarterbacks. Nebraska's been blessed to be having a legitimate conversation between Adrian and Tommy Armstrong. Adrian's more recent. Tommy won more. I'm sure
Tommy had the moments too, though. That's why I give him the edge. The Oregon run, the 99-yard touchdown.
Then he had the YOLO.
The little flip to Amir.
And you know where Tommy got the YOLO from, right? He got it from Taylor. Or Taylor.
Taylor, yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, it looked like I used to be on the radio talking about he looked like Ken Stabler, the Mad Bomber, trying to throw it to Cliff Branch. Hey, DP, them balls used to go out the screen. YOLO.
Just go get it, man.
Break bread. Anyways,
go get it.
Good first segment. We're going to come back and we're going to take a poll whether Ndamukong Suh signs during training camp or midway through the season. Okay, it's not funny. I'm being serious because listen, Dominican, the House of Spears. I don't even like calling them Dominican. I just love the House of Spears. The House of Spears is very smart and strategic.
Well, that's why I think it's funny, because I think the intelligence says this brother's gonna wait.
Right, but
because the checks are still good.
The checks are still good, but a half a check ain't as good as a full check, and especially when you ain't really practicing.
But
the
you
training
know
game.
where your money's coming from,
right? But and Dominican Sue ain't even got to worry about getting cut.
All
J
right.
Foreman DP, we're going to break.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're an electrician, we've got a career for you. It's a career with employer-paid health care and retirement benefits. Join the IBEW Local 265 family and work for one of our NECA contractors. Come to our job fair on August the 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn, 2500 Tamarin Ridge Road in Southwest Lincoln. For more information, call Mike Murray at 402-875-1034. That's 402-875-1034.
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen will be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you by Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, Gary Michaels Clothiers, Warhorse Gaming, A1 Automotive, and the 1890 Initiative.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, old school. Jay Foreman, quick segment here before we get my man Troy Dumas on, see what he's up to, and give him all his accolades or his flowers, like they like to say, at the top of the hour, 5 o'clock. But I posed the questions to my two counterparts here. We just the known is if Ndamukong Suh wants to play in the NFL this year, he can play. So let's just get that out. Let's not try to act like he can't. He doesn't have an option to go and be a player. My question to you guys are, considering what happened last year, obviously when you make the Super Bowl, it's great, but it's kind of like you're a rented sniper. Now you're off into waiting for the call on the bat phone, you know what I mean? Like getting the call. Does he accept the call at some time during training camp, like a week, like right before or right after that last preseason game, so you get kind of a week and a half, 2 weeks to kind of get your bearings together? Or do you think he waits into the season if he chooses to play?
I think it comes down to who it is.
Right.
Who it is and where it is. If it's somebody that
he's not going to Seattle.
Well, but if somebody needs him to be 75% of Ndamukong Suh in order for them this season to be deemed a success, then okay. If they need 50% for them to elevate themselves to Super Bowl status, yeah, I'll go early. I'll go early to get in for that. 75% to play on a contender, but not a serious contender.
Like,
nah, bro.
Yeah, you below the Chiefs or something.
Yeah, like I'm gonna chill. I'll meet y'all there.
Well, because there's gonna be other opportunities. Guys are gonna get hurt and things are gonna change.
Yeah, like I meet y'all there.
This is where you guys, being an NFL player, being around NFL players, I don't have that same experience. But if I was in those shoes, I would at least want to be on a team to have that security of, I'm in the flow. I have the game plan down. I've learned the defense, what's expected of me, checks are cashing sort of thing. But I also hope that the coach, the defensive coordinator, my position coach, understand what's up when I sign. Kind of a, you know who I am, I am here sort of thing.
Right.
Kind of an unspoken gentleman's agreement. I'm going to take it easy during training camp. I'll be here. I'll get in the building. I'll learn. That's where I'd approach it.
Yeah, see, now with the NFL, especially in his case, when he picks up the phone and his agent, or they're having Zoom calls or whatever, that's established. Now, first of all, his play has established him with any coach that has any type of sense, and hopefully he's not some young dumb defensive coordinator or D-line coach trying to act like he's a first-year player and he's going in his 14th year. That you know who he is and know that he can be dominant and what you're needing him for. Hopefully you didn't fall asleep in that staff meeting saying we need a veteran presence defensive tackle to give us at most 30 plays or whatever they need, and potentially if we need them to go 50.
And that number matters in the conversation piece, because
especially early,
right? Because the Super Bowl contender needs 30 Sioux plays at highest level,
right? And knows
contenders are going to need 50,
right,
just for him to take a beating on 20 of those, so he can get off on the other 30.
So it's a little bit of scheme, but he can play in a 4-man, second, third down for anybody. I think it's just going to come down to fit, win. And you can sign him all year, because you could just play him sparingly, and he's fine. He's not here chasing, Bruce Smith's record. He's not doing it. He's here to help you win a championship. So what he can do behind the scenes will pay off tenfold to whoever's playing majority of the plays during the season. So if it does, obviously you want to see him play as long as he can. He does a lot of great things and has great business sense and so forth. But it just kind of, obviously with people coming into, or people reporting to training camp today, like we said yesterday, everybody's life is changing.
Man,
so we got Troy Dumas coming up at 5:00. Then after we have Troy Dumas, we're going to talk about the Husker or former Husker players, which, guys are going into their rookie year, both drafted and not drafted. What's waiting for them, because they're who's waiting in locker rooms for them? A bunch of Jay Foreman,
grown men.
Yeah, fresh meat coming in. Jay Foreman, DP, top of the hour. Troy Dumas, Hall of Famer, coming in. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through July 25th are $2 off a pound of Denver steaks. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations opening soon at 27th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha, with soft openings in mid-July. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
If you're an electrician, we've got a career for you. It's a career with employer-paid health care and retirement benefits. Join the IBEW Local 265 family. Work for one of our NECA contractors. Come to our job fair on August the 3rd from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Holiday Inn, 2500 Tamarind Ridge Road in Southwest Lincoln. For more information, call Mike Murray at 402-875-1034. That's 402-875-1034.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415, or online at ambitionelectric.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
This is Bud Seinhorst, President and CEO of LIBA, the Lincoln Independent Business Association. Join us every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket for the LIBA Business Hour, as we discuss local business and highlight those who are thriving in the Lincoln area. It's the LIBA Business Hour, Saturdays from 9 to 10 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
H&H Roofing, established in 2015, is proud to serve the local area, which includes the tri-state area in Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota. H&H Roofing has a professional team that are licensed and bonded, GAF Master Certified Installers, and an insurance-preferred contractor that will work directly with your insurance company. Also a leading roofer, siding, and gutter specialist. H&H Roofing will service all residential, commercial, and agricultural needs. Go to HandHroofs.com for more information or call 402-359-2546.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. DP, Jay Foreman, Austin on the ones and twos. Making it sound good and look good. We are brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Without further ado, on the Aloe VIP line, we got my man here that was a big influence on me early in my career, getting here at Nebraska, Troy Dumas. I want to be one of the first, not the first to congratulate, everybody did, but congratulations, my brother, on the Hall of Fame, long overdue. Tell me, I know how I felt because I didn't know right away. Somebody else told me, and so I didn't believe him. I thought it was a joke. But I want to ask you, what was your first initial thoughts and feelings when you either got the letter or was told that you made the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, man. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, but I got a call from I believe his name was Bob Cuso, I believe, last Friday. He left me a message. I saw that he actually called, but the message was sat there for 2 hours. But I listened to the message, and I mean, I was just blown away. I was like, you can't be this. Don't be playing on my phone like this.
Right.
But yeah, as soon as, he kept saying, you're going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. You're going to be inducted to the Hall of Fame. I'm like, it's just tears. I was blown away by that, man. I wasn't thinking about any of that. I was happy with, all the things that we accomplished at the time that I was there. But that was total shock. It was totally out of the blue. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Well, that's good, man, because I was the same way, man. One of my boys told me, and really, my story is that they had sent it to my old address, so I didn't get the letter. And you're going to get the letter, Troy. I'm going to tell you, man, frame it. It means a lot, obviously. And then you get the ring and all this thing. And I think the biggest thing, advice I could tell you, is don't even try to keep it short. Enjoy your moment. You know what I mean? Listen, listen, Troy, linebacker to linebacker. And see, I think part of, and correct me if I'm wrong, Troy, when we were here, it was all about winning. But even when, you were all Big 8, first team, obviously got drafted in NFL, big time player, but we knew all the accolades went to the defensive ends and the quarterback. So even when somebody calls you up with great news, you think everybody's joking, because how many times did they ask you go up there on a Monday and lead the press conference? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not a spotlight type of guy. So it was, I'm trying to be behind the scenes and do my thing. So yeah, once I got there, I mean, it's just unbelievable, Jay. I mean, you've been there.
Right. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I can tell you, man, Troy, it's the cherry on top to, obviously your football career. And you know what the best part is, man? You get to, share with your family and stuff, man, because, and then they never, they probably, I don't know if you fight this, well, they look at you now and, they size you up like, oh, I heard my dad was good. Now they're going to really see it, that you was for real. So you're going to be able to stick your chest out a little bit more. But Troy, I wanted to talk about your time here at Nebraska, right? Because I always tell people you had a great influence on me as a, pipsqueak freshman, that anytime I came to you with the question, even though I didn't want to bother you. I know you're getting ready for the likes of Oklahoma and Colorado and all that, but he always took time to, to pass it down to me. But even before that, talk about your first 3 years at safety and then to move to linebacker, and talk about that transition, because it's a lot on the line. It's like towards the end of your career, you got to learn a whole new position. Things happen a lot faster. Your size and speed was already there, but playing the position and effectively had to be a little bit of anxiety. Talk about that.
Yeah, well, my first year there, my true freshman, I walked in and I was, pushing on the heels of a guy that I idolized at free safety, Tyrone Bird. I was, pushing him, and when he went down, I was actually a starter for those couple of weeks that he went down. I mean, back then it was a lot of information. How we ran our secondary back then. I mean, there was a lot of checks,
right?
A lot of zone going to man, that kind of thing. So, there's a huge learning curve involved that first year. I mean, it probably took me half the season to get it down. I mean, there's guys with engineering degrees that were struggling with it.
Right.
But I remember Coach D saying, the light came on today. From that day on, I mean, I started picking up the defense and knowing it better and better. My freshman year, it was up and down. I was basically what they would call a starter in the dime defense, which was the 4-3 defense that we switched over to a few years down the road, but we used that, the 4-3 defense as our dime defense. So, as a true freshman, I was the 12th guy off the bench for the defense, anytime we called dime. Started against Washington. Washington was the number one team in the country at that time. So, my plate was full. A lot of information out there, and I'm just trying to learn it on the run. That first scrimmage I had as a true freshman, I was, so to speak, putting all heads to bed.
I like that. Yes, sir.
I came out, and that was my main goal coming in. I mean, I was a kid from Cheyenne, Wyoming. No one thought I could, play. So I had something to prove there. But that first year was a lot of learning on the run. I was getting into games, making plays, showing some flashes. My second year, honestly, I don't even remember a whole lot of it. I know I was starting again when Tyrone went down. Had some great games against Arizona State. I made like 12 tackles or something, 2 pass breakups, dropped a would-be pick that probably would have went 95 yards, but that was more of a learning deal. Tyrone was still the man at safety. So I was still, playing special teams and backing him up. My third year, I was the starter. I became a full-time starter at safety. We had switched to our 4-3 defense at that time over the spring. What happened with that was coaches from Arizona came up, coaches from Florida State came up during our spring practices, and coaches were meeting because they were implementing, the 4-3 defense. We got our over bubble defense from the University of Arizona, Arizona Wildcats. So my junior year, we switched over to that. I was playing safety starting, but I was struggling, man.
Yeah.
I was struggling. Too aggressive on play action passes. I'm looking looking for the hit.
Right.
So needless to say, I lost my spot. I think it was a musical chairs around there for a little bit. I think John Reese played free safety some. Maybe another guy by the name of Kareem Moss.
Yeah.
But towards the end of my junior year, Ernie Beeler and
Brinkley, right?
Lorenzo Brinkley, yeah, they were the top 2 guys at the Sam linebacker position, and they had both were injured going to the Oklahoma game. So I get a call from Coach Darlington. He's like, "Hey man, come down to the stadium. We're gonna move you over to Sam linebacker." And he's like, "Are you good with that?" I'm like, "Absolutely." So I went down there, talked to Coach Samuel, Coach Darlington, and made the switch. I ended up starting that last Oklahoma game, with 7 days of practice. But, going way back to my freshman year, I already knew the position.
Right.
So it wasn't that big of a transformation or transform. I knew it. It was just a matter of getting the footwork down, and as opposed to being backpedaling,
right,
you're shuffling side to side, moving with movement, using your hands to get off blocks. So once I had got that down, I was real comfortable. After that game, Florida State, we met Florida State in a national championship game. Coach Samuel came to me and he was like, "Hey, I got 2 seniors. You might not play. You probably won't play that much on defense. Just handle up on special teams." I'm like, "Coach, I totally understand.
Right.
I get it. I got it." So, special teams went in there, did my thing. We got gypped. So coming into my senior year, it was everything all came together, man. I mean, everything I learned as a freshman all through my sophomore, junior years, all those highs and lows, all the mental, downs that you get playing, the ups. I learned how to handle all of that by my senior year. I knew the defense in and out. There was times in games where I can override a call because I knew it was wrong. So, I was able to make the correct Sam call. If there was a secondary call that needed to be made, I could do it.
Right.
So my senior year, I was able to put it all together and have a good one. So.
Troy, talk about, I always joke about, so when I came in, Coach D was the DB coach. And if people don't know, Coach Darlington, he tests you real quick. He say some stuff that you might want to jack him up. Hey, talk about you talk about transition from backpedaling to shuffling. Talk about the transition from Coach D. I love Coach D, right? Because Coach D helped us both of us get paid. The transition from Coach D to Coach Sam, because Coach Sam could deliver the same message, but Coach Sam is like, "Hey, Chief, you look a little sluggish right there. Coach D was like, you pulling a dump truck and a semi. We might go get somebody for you. Talk about that, man.
Yeah, man, Coach D was special. He could get under your skin for sure.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have too many run-ins with Coach D at all. He didn't, every once in a while he would say something crazy, but it was, something that you could just let, fall off your back or whatever. But there were times I've seen he would piss off the whole room.
Yeah, he would, boy.
Sometimes,
yeah.
but yeah, man, he didn't really have a filter. Let's just say that.
Yeah, Coach D was one of a kind.
Yeah, man, Coach Sam, to be quite honest with you, and I love Coach Darlington, but it was just a much needed change, and it was probably better for both parties. Not to toot my own horn, but I was one of the better athletes on the team, so I didn't, sit in the bench. I mean, they found a spot for me to play. I mean, so I can't. I never say anything bad about Coach D. Those two guys are night and day. You go from a guy that's wired, he'll tell you what he thinks without with no filter, to a guy who's calm, cool, and collected. But like you said, he gets his point across.
Right.
When he's not joking. So yeah, it was a huge change, but it was probably something that I needed.
Yeah, man. Hey, Troy, I appreciate you coming on, my brother. Welcome. You know what I mean? Enjoy it. Enjoy the up until it goes. Well deserved. We're going to have you in studio, man. I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I'm younger than you. You're supposed to be, you know what I mean? But I'm happy for you, man. And the reason why.
Jay, I appreciate you, man. I mean, I watched your career, and I'm just glad I had, a part in that.
Right, man.
I mean, because you did your thing. Yeah. So I'm proud I was able to pass some of that on to you, man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Without a Troy Dumas playing well, and keeping the idea of to take a safety, and I was skinny as all get out to go and figure it out, and him welcoming. He probably was like, man, I want you to go through the same stuff I did. It allowed me to transition. And so I went from cheerleader to, I was like, hey, I got to represent for him. So I knew when he was at the Chiefs, he was watching. And the one thing I'm gonna say about Troy is him and Clint Brown is we used to scrimmage on Wednesdays, the freshmen. I swear it was 12 plays. You would have think it was a Super Bowl. You remember that, Troy?
Right.
And Troy used to tell me, man, and we'd be getting geared up for it because they would be breaking down, getting their pads off. I'm strapping my stuff on, think I'm going to the Super Bowl. And Troy would be like, I'm going to watch you today. And I'm telling you, I was trying to kill people out there because I knew he was watching. So I appreciate it, man. Can't wait to see you, man. And enjoy your moment, man. And well-deserved. Glad we could have you on. And we'll see you this season, man.
Absolutely, man. Thanks.
All right, my brother. Troy Dumas, man. It's, people always talk about or ask, like, how? Right? They're like, how are you guys so good? Well, that's part of it. He went through some trials and tribulations. I mean, he started as a freshman and played, learned, and, had to switch a position. Didn't want, very easily being a freshman starter. He could probably went back to Wyoming somewhere and sat out a year and ended up starting the senior year, but he stuck it out, found a new position. And then when you come, some knucklehead kid from, Eden Prairie, Minnesota, that's asking him all types of questions. He's open to it because that's leadership right there. You don't have to be a captain or somebody that they plaster on Husker Online or whatever, all over the internet or whatever, Lincoln Journal-Star, whatever, to be a leader. So the influence that he had on me hopefully allowed me to learn some things and have some influence on some other guys that might go in down the road. So well-deserved first team All Big 8, NFL player, third-round pick, and a legit 6'4.5", 240, and he could straight up fly. And he was head hunting. So appreciate Troy coming on. We're gonna go to break, come back, talk about some NFL rookies that from Huskers and give us our prognosis because the time is now. And guys like Troy Dumas and Jay Foreman are waiting for you in those locker rooms. So Old School, we'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415 or online at ambitionelectric.com. If you struggle with joint pain, there's good news. You don't need surgery to get back to full health. South Point Medical and Aesthetics offers breakthrough non-surgical options for treatment of moderate to severe joint pain. Our patients experience little to no downtime from our procedures, and the results are remarkable. They've had 14 years of successful treatments with patients from 35 states because of an effective word-of-mouth traffic. Learn more about how you can get lasting results for joint pain today at southpointmedical.com or call 402-323-8400.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see areas of fog and partly sunny skies this morning. We'll see an afternoon storm chance in the forecast. We'll see a high around 86. Tonight, we'll see a chance of storms early and mostly cloudy skies, a low around 66. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies throughout most of the day. We'll see a high around 87. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, old school. Again, big ups to Troy Dumas. They joined us on the Allo VIP line.
Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well deserved. Like you said, he's a guy that didn't like the spotlight, but definitely deserves his spotlight that he's going to get. And, I'm happy for him and can't wait for him to experience it, man. It's quite the experience to be on the field, be honored, and then get to, do all the festivities and stuff like that. And now you get to walk around and say that you did something that not a lot of guys that have played here on some great teams and through some great eras have not been able to say that they've done and achieved, and it's been rightfully so. Now, with that being said, him being a Hall of Famer, playing in the NFL, there's some guys that are about to make that trek across two different parts of the country to throw their hat in the ring to possibly be an NFL player that used to play at Nebraska last year. So Travis Vokalek, right? Adrian, Trey, Garrett Nelson. Who else? Who else, Austin?
Those are the main. There were no defensive backs, right?
Quentin stayed.
Yeah, there are no defensive backs, no defensive linemen, at least no defensive linemen that stayed here over the last year. So, Casey Rogers and company, they're
not Huskers.
They moved, which always cracks me up because I don't know. There's a shirt that says "Once a Husker, always."
Oh,
they
always Huskers, but they weren't on the team last year.
Yeah, so I'm not sure of that crew.
Is Caleb Tanner, he was with the Jets?
I thought, but I also saw on social media that there were some questions about that. So I
know he signed with the Jets, but I think just those guys are.
What happens here, Jay? You got to walk us through because I'm sitting on the outside.
A lot depends on numbers.
Okay,
and a lot depends on fit, and a lot depends on the talks that they've had. Prior to. Well, obviously, if they drafted you, then that's different versus when you're, free agent. You're thinking, the opportunity. So when you think of like a Trey, they invested a draft choice in him, so they're going to want to see Trey improve at, certain things. As far as being a, all around receiver, it's going to come down to a lot of it's going to come down to special teams for some of these guys. So that's where a guy like Garrett Nelson is going to make a lot of money if he plays well on special teams. Same with Travis Vokalek being the second or third tight end and staying healthy.
Well, he played a ton of special teams, so that's certainly going to be.
But to be the second or third team, you got to kind of work your way up that way and be a valuable, asset outside of, just playing your position. A lot of times these guys are focused on, what they do in the games. You know what I mean? As far as playing their position.
Well, he strikes me as a guy that to hear NFL coaches talk and speak specifically about Garrett and Travis, to have NFL coaches talk about them, they use those adjectives that ring the bell, right? Impressive, right? And
they look good,
right?
Yeah.
They win getting off the bus, but then they stand out in drills because you don't always expect athletes that big to be as graceful and as explosive as they are.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're in the NFL in any form or fashion, you're good to great athlete. I think that it just comes down to fit. Like Vokalek is just need to stay healthy. He'll find his way. I think he for a big guy, I think he's gonna surprise people for how quick he is. Definitely a 15-yard short area threat. I think he's got better hands than people give him credit for. I mean, to be frankly, I think the season changed for Nebraska, especially offensively, when he got dinged up at Northwestern. I mean, he essentially was unstoppable, right? Now, granted, Northwestern wasn't, the 85 Bears or anything, but he was punching holes in the middle of the defense, which was allowing the explosive plays to happen. Anthony Grant, so forth and so on. But then when you look at a guy like Garrett, which, you go down to Miami where they have a lot invested into their top tier pass rushers. In my opinion, it's a perfect situation. Now, granted, I haven't studied the roster, but just on the surface, a perfect situation for him. Come in, rookie deal, rookie money, not a lot invested in him, but you'll get a bang for your buck. So then, therefore, salary cap purposes, he fits in perfect. The biggest thing for him is to be more fluid in when he's playing and not so rigid, but he's got to be excellent on special teams. And that's what Garrett will do. I told him, be first in line, be the first there at the stadium, last to leave, first in line, and you can't afford to have a bad practice. He does that. He'll carve himself out, a nice little niche in the NFL. And then the big name, even though I just said that he didn't play for Nebraska last year, when he had his garage sale, it sold out in less than 2 hours. So Adrian is obviously still a Husker because he just accepted a whole bunch of Husker bucks. He's up in Detroit, right? And the reason why I think that's a good spot for him, they sought him because he probably had options to go to CFL, so they know that. But with Stafford being there and Hooker coming in injured, right? And so they know they spent some money and drafted him, but this is kind of like a redshirt year for him. Toward the end of the year, that's more reps and more opportunity for Adrian. And I think if Adrian stays healthy, the more that he's in the building, he wins a spot.
I think he's on the team at the end of camp. He may be on that other list, but I think he's on a team.
Some form or fashion on a team, practice squad or not, which isn't a bad thing to.
Well, he strikes me as a Detroit dude at quarterback because in preseason, Adrian's going to play in a way that makes him look good in those moments when chaos happens.
People fall for him,
right?
We know that looks like
they'll get, look at him put his foot in the ground, or that guy's a competitor. They'll say all those.
And he's
things.
going to be going against guys that aren't the starters. And let's be honest, when he played at Kansas State, I felt like he threw the ball a little bit better than he usually had. And then if he's healthy, him getting outside of the pocket and making plays like off schedule.
Yeah,
he's been doing that his whole career. So if he can do
he
that,
he has to stay healthy.
Well,
that's the Martinez code. He's got to stay healthy.
Well, for all these guys, all these guys, Trey included, you're a 7th-round draft choice. You're essentially a hamburger away from being on practice squad, and then you'll be at home watching. All these guys have to stay healthy. The option of not practicing or playing when you're hurt is over. The option of talking to the trainer or the coaches like, yeah, you ain't getting no day off. There is no day off. Matter of fact, even when you're hurt, you got to work overtime. You got to find a way to be active. And then it's not only just making it this year, right? And coming back here and being on the spring game, having chain and all that other stuff, staying and lasting the staying power. Because every year you have to get better. If you think that you did good enough last year, they're bringing in 2 or 3 guys, or they're looking at 10 guys actually during the season to see if they can come in and do what you do at that present time and then more. So it's a job now, and that's I think the biggest transition for some guys. Some guys I don't think it'd be a transition. Some guys it'd be a transition, but the competition level and the difference of where you were in the kind of environment that you were in is definitely different when you get down. Because I could tell you about Vic Fangio. Well, number one, you better know your defense, okay, and you better know more than one play. Because if I could advise Garrett, you better know all 4 standard 3-4 positions, right outside linebacker, left and inside, because you better be, because if you're going to be on the 53-man roster, you better have some position flexibility in a pinch, and you better play well, and you better know your stuff. He will not tolerate you not being able to know your plays.
Yeah, he's well.
know your checks.
I don't want to say he's kind of a jerk, but
no, not at all. He used to be
he's stubborn.
No, Vic is totally different.
Stubborn.
Totally different now than what he was. When he was earlier in his career, he was all those adjectives times 10.
Yeah.
The best thing the best thing from my view that happened to Vic was he got fired in Houston, had to get humbled, had to go be assistant outside linebacker coach with Harbaugh in Baltimore, right? I think they still won a Super Bowl. Then he went to Stanford and worked for Jim and was a defensive coordinator, kind of reinvented himself, goes to San Francisco, rest is history.
Yeah, mellowed. Yeah, he had to mellow out some. That was the thing.
It was just Vic has never been a yeller. The Vic had early in his career had a hard time talking to people.
Yeah.
But what he did was when he went there, he learned it, and he learned it in his way, so he wasn't outside of his personality. And now he's extremely way different.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard him described as rigid, and I would kind of think that's what that is.
He's old. He wants you to come to work. He wants you. Hey, look, he coaches football. He don't have time to play games.
Yeah, that part. That's what
like you can do all this stuff but at the end of the day, look, he coached Von Miller. Okay, so he's seen all the sack dances and all the different stuff, and Von doing the cartwheels and stuff after. So he's cool with that. But his business is coaching football. He expects your business playing football. So
we know that that's not always the case, though. In this day,
and that's where. Generally, you won't even get to the part of playing for him.
Yeah,
because he has total control in who he's going to have play the defense and play for him. Because now his reputation is on the line as one of the top D coordinators and defensive minds. And so that's what he needs. And so it's a good spot for Garrett. I think Travis Vokolek could do well. I think they'll all do well. They just got to maximize opportunity. And it's not where you start. It's kind of where you finish. James Harrison was cut 8 times. He's a borderline
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. 8 times.
I see this. So the Jets have Hard Knocks. And based on that, we can expect Caleb Tanner to be in the fold, in the mix.
Is he on the team? Austin, is he on the team?
I saw that he was invited to their one in May, but I haven't seen him on the list for this.
Yeah, I saw something on social media that led me to believe that something happened.
He's not there right
now. That pulled it away. And there was conversation of the other leagues.
Yeah.
And trying to get that in through.
Well,
As a matter of fact, Houston was of the other league was brought up. So I was a little bit curious and concerned.
Well, it's good for these guys that got more option. But if we forgot, O'Shawn Mathis was picked in the 6th round, which I think is a good spot for him.
I think he has the most success out of everybody.
If his motor is running, yeah.
Would he have been good as a hand in the ground D lineman in the 3-3-5?
He wouldn't have had a choice.
He'd be better.
He wouldn't have had a choice because he couldn't play stand up here.
Well, I mean, it's a choice whether you want to play stand. I just think O'Shawn, from the time he got here, controlled for the most part, controlled his own destiny. Now, I do think at times they had him playing out of position. But again, I would say this, and this is here's the question I would ask just out loud. Okay. Going into, and this is if whether you ask me or not, and obviously I don't know anything. Okay. Let's say it. Right. I don't know tiddly.
Say it.
But here's what I would say. Here's what I would ask. You have Caleb Tanner, who over up until even this year, but before last season, had played his best ball and most consistent football. Started to kind of figure it out. You had Garrett Nelson doing the same, right? Both of them has answered. They both answered the bell every single game. Behind them, at worst case scenario, you had Jamari Butler. Worst case scenario. Well, not the worst case. You had Jamari Butler, who has probably the most talent out of those 3 that we're just talking about. And then you had other guys in there that have played some, right? And you had the year before you had JoJo and so you really need 3 outside rushers. So you had those 3. 2 guys that you can count on, one guy that you needed to get reps in, which get reps to get better. So to solve your pass rush, and both of those guys were your pass rushers on the outside, you went and got another pass rusher that strictly played wide 9 technique, and then this in the defense that you had to do some other things, and it just didn't work out. I would ask why. Okay, I would ask him why, because ultimately, if you're chasing small things, you lose out on the big things. Because O'Shawn, his sophomore year in college, wasn't a 6th round pick. He's more of a 2nd or 3rd round pick. So,
and if he plays for a national runner-up,
right. But at the end of the day, that's you couldn't forecast that with a first-year head coach, with a quarterback that's never really done anything. That's genie in a bottle, right? That's like, but with him being able to, if he can get in there and seeing how Aaron Donald works, that's the best thing for him, because your motor better be running, and Aaron Donald works before practice, obviously during practice, and after practice, in the weight room, in the film room, and he's not going to allow anybody to be in that defensive line, 3rd down room or whatever to not have a standard like that.
It's my thought that he has the best year because he's going to play next to one of the greats. He gets the best opportunity. He gets to learn, and he won't be asked to do some of the things that he was asked to do in Nebraska. He won't be asked to do those things. He'll be asked to go and be great at what he does, to take some of the pressure off those 2 other great linemen and a great linebacker.
Well, they're drafting him to rush the passer.
Yeah,
they're not drafting
opposite of AD.
Yeah, well, you're going to get one-on-one opportunities versus if you go to somewhere else and you coming in as a rookie and they're expecting you. They're not expecting him to solve the pass rush. Yeah. They're expecting him to add to the pass rush. Now, but this will also be along with him. He has to be able to play special teams. You aren't an all-time pass rusher. Like I always say about kids.
Not yet.
Kids always say, I'm an all-time quarterback. You aren't an all-time pass rusher. You better learn how to play special teams, and you better learn how to be able to go in and play a small amount of plays and be effective. Because Aaron Donald ain't going to have it, and your career is not going to last that long as you can. But he's in the best opportunity of O'Shawn, Trey, Garrett, Travis, and throw Adrian in there. He has the best opportunity. Tampa, where Trey's at, they have a lot of receivers, so he's going to have to learn, right? Garrett's in Miami, and I forget where Travis is at. I think he's at one of the New York teams, right? Or maybe he's at Baltimore somewhere. So, but I think O'Shawn has the best opportunity to exceed where he got drafted. 6th round, him and Trey in the 6th round. I think O'Shawn, if he can manage to take what Aaron Donald to potentially could teach him by watching, he didn't have to. Aaron Donald doesn't have to talk to him.
Mm-mm.
What he has to do is watch what Aaron Donald does, how he moves, how he prepares, and when he gets out his opportunity, he could be one of those stories that he's a sleeper. He exceeded it where he outperformed where he was drafted, and then you're off to the races.
Aaron is going to be it's a nice look to have Vokalek sitting in front.
Is that where you had the Jet? Is that where?
No, but I'm just saying, just any of the bigs. Trey Palmer will be in a situation where there are going to be a lot of guys like him, but he has to be better at the thing that he's best at, which is going deep. He'll get better at the passing game stuff, but what will give him an additional shot is that he will go deep better than the rest. He's going to have to.
Where is
outrun Baker's arm?
Yeah.
Where is Vokalek?
He's in Baltimore. You're
Baltimore.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. Okay.
Yeah, he'll do all right. I think that they like throwing to the tight ends. They keep might be one more tight end. They got some big old tight ends. He fits right in with Andrews and all that stuff. And so he just needs to get a little bit better at blocking and learn about the leverage. And that's the hardest thing for when you're a legit 6'5", 6'6". It's not a want to thing. He's not like he doesn't. He just needs to continue to work at it. The biggest thing for Vokalek, stay healthy, and he'll be more than happy with his NFL career.
Yeah, bro.
Who has a longer NFL career, Vokalek or Austin Allen?
I think it's just opportunity. They're both two in the same.
Yeah, those are peas in the pod.
I mean, those are two guys right there that are team guys. They just got to find the right situation with the right coaches, and then you can stack years and stuff like that. So both of them will do well. They both are good guys. You can't call them kids anymore. Two good men, and they'll do well. So that's the Husker update. We wish them all well and good luck in camp. Pave your own way. Jay Foreman and DP. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Load up on meat and more this summer at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's specials through July 25th are $2 off a pound of Denver steaks. And don't forget to check out their Friday feast this week and every week. Plus, big news, they have 2 new locations opening soon at 27th and Yankee Hill in Lincoln and 168th and Maple in Omaha, with soft openings in mid-July. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Great Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Great Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back, old school, short segment, couple minutes before we put a bow on this Wednesday. I guess I guess we would be not doing our job if we didn't talk about it.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, look, man,
You gotta do it.
They had the press conference of two different attorney firms, which is weird, but I guess they're representing two different factions of people that have complaints, along with 4 former players were at the press conference. And now, look, I will say this: I don't know if they're embellishing. I wouldn't say that. I hate to say that where they're embellishing, but it's definitely a lot with former players and how long it's been rampant. Because one of them, Lloyd Yates, was a quarterback from 2015 to 2017, and he said that he finds it hard that the coaches were not aware of what's going on. Well, I would want to know, well, who? Nobody told him, right? So I mean, I guess because his family is like 4. They said 4 generations of Northwesternites. Let's call them. So if you call back home, and you be like, man, these dudes did this thing, ran on me, and be like, well, what happened? And you tell me, like, I'm picking up somebody's phone, I'm talking to somebody, or was it hidden or whatever? Because he says a lot of the coaches took part in it in many different manners, and explicit behavior was so explicit it was loud.
That they were actually inciting and directing this towards certain players.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say that. It just says it said it took place, right?
That coaches were calling out during film study and during practice.
Oh yeah,
certain behaviors. Certain behaviors that would
I was
fit
talking
the
about
hazing.
I was talking about what he said.
Yeah.
You know, I used to. I definitely am changing my thought process of. You know, the president could have. He could have still done the same thing. Suspended Pat Fitzgerald for a year and then fired him in a year. Okay. You wouldn't be in this situation in a media tornado storm, firestorm what you are right now.
People would have understood better.
Would have understood better. But the more that this comes out, really, to be honest with you, you couldn't keep Pat Fitzgerald, even if you did the right thing, which would have been.
Shouldn't have kept him anyway.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying the reason why we're here right now is because you suspended him 2 weeks. I'm saying if you suspended him from the beginning, from the very beginning, right? Because I'm just going to assume that he only knew a small percentage to suspend him for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Which isn't true, but let's just play devil's advocate. Right. Just say you did the right thing so you don't have a media firestorm, that you suspended him for a year, possibly indefinitely, and we'll deal with you in a year. Yeah. And then all this stuff comes out. Even if you did that, which would have been the right thing to do, okay, I'm going to suspend you because you can't. First of all, if you can't go from suspending him 2 weeks to fire him, that's just you're asking for.
Yep.
You're getting the same situation.
Yep.
So if you've done the right thing, made the right decision, not done the right thing, right decision. Now with all this out there, even if you had any type of inclination of keeping him in 2024, it's over. It's over now. But I'm just saying this right here was so poorly handled from leadership, and what it tells me is it was handled poorly, obviously within the team. Whoever these people were doing the sexual type of stuff. That lets you know I think it's like a lot of things, like whether you see like racism or people just like, burning down people's houses and stuff like for no reason. It's a small percentage of people making a big, huge impact, right? And it just takes over everything. Then there's, as of right now, until you get the evidence that all the coaches knew or a coach was told, and it doesn't matter if it's an analyst, a assistant coach or a coach, a person of authority above a player, teeter-totter within the captain, but we're going to just do that. That lets you know there is a gap right now, because then it went up to the up top, and then obviously the person up top didn't take it serious. Well, my man is taking it real serious right now. Now the Fifth Street, but the Fifth Street pimp got ahead of it though. The Fifth Street pimp on Monday got ahead of it Wednesday. He said, "We as academic faculty and brothers and brethren, us smart people, let's band together against these Neanderthals, a football player, and teach them how to be better humans like us, because we
introduce them to high society."
Get your knuckles off the ground.
Right. All the while, 2 years ago, he was the same dude announcing with Pat Fitzgerald, lock and step.
Wait a minute.
This is the person that you guys should all strive for. Athletes, academia, and anybody else.
Here's $800 million for new playground.
And we're gonna spend $1.2 billion.
Your signature's on the receipt. You paid the bar tab. It's your credit card.
So
good heavens, man.
It's unfortunate. It's just one of those things that you know what? If I could give them one thing of advice, I wouldn't send anybody there.
I'm gonna egg on Jay Foreman the whole time Northwestern's in the building. Find him, Jay.
But what are you gonna do? Like, you gonna send out a note and say, please don't ask anybody about what's going on? It'd be like, well, are you playing this year?
Oh no, they're gonna pull a Scott Frost. They're gonna straight line in and out of there. No questions.
But here's what I'll do. I'll save you money. I'll just send it like a little thing. We ain't coming.
Yeah.
You know when Jordan sent the fax that I'm back?
Yep.
We ain't coming.
We find it in our better interest.
Right. Yeah. No, it's nothing. We ain't coming. And we ain't gonna say we're not coming. We ain't coming.
Right.
With that being said, we are out. Jay Foreman, DP. Big up Troy Dumas, Hall of Fame. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
It's a new era for Nebraska football with a new head coach. Gear up for the season with 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of Big Ten Media Days. Live from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis on July 26th and 27th. Jay Foreman, Amon Green, Vershawn Jackson, Terrell Farley, Derek Pearson, Steve Sipple, and Jake Sorensen will be in Indy for our shows on Wednesday and Thursday. Coverage of Big Ten Media Days is brought to you